He is the Public Relations Officer for the Volta Region Police. We move from that story, and the use of taxis and motorbikes in transporting patients in critical conditions is a common feature at Asiwa in the Bosome-Friho district of the Ashanti region. Yet, a new ambulance allocated to the district to help in referrals has been parked by the local assembly. Residents say the failure to put the ambulance on the road is a bane of preventable deaths in the district.
The Bosome-Friho district benefited from the government's distribution of ambulances 2 years ago, but the ambulance is yet to be put to use. Residents say the use of the ambulance could have helped save preventable diseases.
Anytime there's an emergency, we find it difficult conveying the sick to the hospital unless you find a taxi.
Often
the person dies as a result because the ambulance is left idle. If the ambulance has no use, they should return it. 2 people from this district opted for a chance to drive the ambulance, but they were denied.
The ambulance is parked at a shed with no sign of movement. The services of motor riders are often sought in transporting patients to and from adjoining health facilities.
We find it difficult conveying the sick to the hospital. It is best if the ambulance conveys sick people, especially when they may be unconscious.
Taxi drivers who also offer services say most patients fail to pay them after transporting them to the hospitals. They had hoped the ambulance service would have brought relief to their humanitarian services.
I have picked up several people, but none of them survived. If the ambulance was functional, it would have helped a lot.
District Chief Executive for Bosome-Friho, Yao Danso, says the assembly is looking up to the National Ambulance Service to get them a driver to man the ambulance.
We have spoken to the regional director in charge. As a DC, I do not have the power to hire personnel to drive the ambulance.
Ashanti Regional Administrative Manager of the National Ambulance Service, Somik Dut Milon, says there is ongoing training to fill the gap.
People think that normally any other person can drive the ambulance. No, that's not the case. We don't have ambulance drivers. We have people who are trained as emergency medical technicians who are supposed to man these ambulances for us. So as we talk now, some are still in training. I know very soon the gap will be closed and we will not have much issues as we have now.
Prince Apia reporting.
On the telephone line with us is the Administrative Manager of Ghana Ambulance Service in the Ashanti Region, Somit Dun Milon. Mr. Milon, thanks for joining us. Why is the ambulance parked when the people of Bosome-Friho need it?
All right. Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity. Yes, Bosome-Friho ambulance actually have not been operationalized yet because of technical issues that we have as a service. That is to say that, we need, when we received these new ambulances, we needed to move from, let's say, Ashanti region. We had only 17 stations, so we needed to expand the service to cover all the constituencies. And what happened was that before we received the ambulances, we had clearance, the national headquarters, to train personnel to fill in the gap. Unfortunately, when they started the training, the COVID set in, and because of that, we could not complete the training. So, Ashanti region, we had 49 ambulances. We've been able to operationalize 41 of them out of the personnel that we have. So, as it stands now, the staff strength cannot make use of the rest of the ambulances that we've not been able to operationalize yet. So as I speak with you, there's ongoing training to get staff to beef up the staff strength to be able to operationalize the rest of the ambulances that we are yet to put them to use, which Busumi Frehun is one of them. Actually, we've spoken with the authorities at the district level that if they have any urgent need for an emergency, they can always call our emergency center to get them an ambulance, because there are other ambulances that are very close to the place that we can easily dispatch to get to their aid whenever they need an ambulance. So for now, it is as a result of the staff strength that we will not be able to operationalize the ambulance.
Mr. Mellon, on the 10th of January 2020, Dr. Amedu Zakaria, who is your boss at the National Ambulance Service, said that there was ongoing training for EMT staff of the service. He also said that the service already had 2,000 workers who were already being trained. Why can't any of these workers be redeployed to Busumi Frehun?
Yes, we are looking at about over 275. We have 275 constituencies in the country, and then there are also other stations that are open at some vantage points. For instance, we have a station at airport and Kumasi Stadium as well. Accra also has airport and other stadiums. So there are more than 275 ambulance stations in the country. So the service is saying that we are supposed to have a minimum of 3 drivers at a station. That is 3 EMT drivers at a station. So we're supposed to operate 24/7. We're not supposed to go for just maybe morning and go off and then close the station and go. We operate 24/7. And, if you're supposed to have at least 3 drivers, and as I even talk with you, we are making do with just 2 drivers at the station. Some of the stations even have 1 driver, but they have to steal money before we need to operate. But as I talk with you, the people that they train and they were able to come out, they just picked up the numbers for us to be able to move from the 17 stations as we operated before to about 41 stations now. I'm talking of in terms of Ashanti Region, but not even nationwide. So this particular group of EMTs they are training, because of the COVID, their training could not complete their training. So they are even still currently on hospital attachment and also ambulance station attachment for them to come out. Because the service is such a way that I believe we see how the cars are moved. And no matter how experienced you are as a driver, they can't just pick you without a training, then you start driving the ambulance.
Right.
Yes.
Is there a station at the Kumasi Sports Stadium that is operational?
Yes, please. There's a station at Kumasi Sports Stadium that is operational.
Football was closed down for a greater part of last year, sir. You mean you prioritized a stadium which was not being used over a district which needed an ambulance? No,
actually, the stadium ambulance is not meant for the stadium activities. It is meant to be stationed there and be dispatched for any other emergency that occurs in the region. So the office of the Subing ambulance station is just located at the stadium.
Right, it's so because of what you said. Point well made. It's because of what you said earlier. I just want to establish this. The COVID-19 pandemic was a medical emergency. Why did medical training stop during a medical emergency?
Yes, our training school is also just like what's the name? Any other training school.
Right.
Along the way, the president, because of the COVID-19, closed down all training schools, all schools actually. So for that matter, the National Ambulance Service Training School has to also be closed down.
Sir, my question is, the COVID-19 pandemic is a medical emergency. It's during the pandemic that we need medical staff the most. Why would you stop training medical staff during a medical emergency?
You know, this is a technical aspect. I might not be able to speak into it because it was an order from public health from public health emergency. So there was no way, because those who are training our people, we have our medical doctors coming from Konfonache to go and teach at the training school, and we have people who also stay out, go to the training school to go and teach. Lecture them. And you know, that was a threat that people can move in and out of the training school and then could cause any infection of the trainees.
I'm sorry, but you are saying that frontline health workers, people who would carry people who are sick to the hospital, should not be taught because frontline health workers are working.
You know, these are trainees. They are not yet workers. We are training them to become EMTs.
That's right. Okay.
They are not yet EMTs. Okay.
So let's move on. Let's move on very quickly. You said that there are some ambulance stations which can function without all three people who are needed. Could we not have prioritized having every ambulance station working than having some ambulance stations without people at all?
Yes, so as I said earlier on, so we had just 17 stations, okay, before we received these new ambulances. We have stretched the limit of the personnel to about 41 stations that are operational in the region now. We've stretched to the limit. We've stretched to the limit because if you want to let the people work, the people have to work, and they have to also rest. They have to go off, because you can't just let people work for 24/7, 7 days a week, and then probably it's even against the labor law. You know, you can't.
So they would not be working for 24 hours a day. They will be working on call. Ambulance drivers work when they are called for emergencies, and for rural areas like Bosumifreho, it's very possible that we will not be getting that many emergencies. I want to believe that the incidents of healthcare emergencies that occur there are not as many as Kumasi, for instance. So they are not indeed that stretched, are they?
You see, our service is such that when you are located at a particular place, you just don't serve only the community. When there's a need for you to move across to other districts also, you are called to move in to attend to, because there can be an RTA, there can be a disaster, mass casualty incident, and you have to move you from wherever you are across to wherever the incident is to attend to the people. So we are not limited to only the catchment area where you are located. Okay, so and for instance, if you put, just as I said, the people you space them so much that the person cannot go off, which maybe at the point in time that he has to go off, and immediately he goes off and there's a call, that is also another issue. But not even with that, we are just straight to the limit as I talk with you now, because as I said earlier, we were just covering about 17 districts in the region, and now we have moved up to 41 districts.
Right.
So we see that there's so much expansion, and we are under stress.
So what you are saying is that there's no way to redeploy staff to Bosomifreho?
For now, until we get those who are in training out, it is a difficult situation to redeploy staff to.
And this difficult situation cannot be rectified by getting, for instance, the other administrative districts within the Kumasi metropolis, which is probably very densely populated, and so the districts are close by. It cannot be rectified by moving some of these drivers to a place which is physically far from the next district.
Yes, so as I said, it is something that we've done as a management, and we have communicated with Busumi Frehu, what's the name, the management there, and we've given them all the necessary numbers that when there's an emergency, you call us, because we have stations like Konongo is very close to Busumi Frehu. Ijisu is there, called, what's the name, Puntinasi is also close. We said when there's a need for emergency, call. We will get an ambulance to the place for them to respond to you.
But the people that we got down to Bosomefriho and spoke to the residents, and they are pointing to that gap as one that is debilitating. The stopgap measure that you proposed is not working.
So it's not working in terms of they called and we are not able to respond, or they don't just call at all, or they find it difficult to call us.
Right. Mr. Millen, I understand that you raised the question that will be important to explore, but unfortunately, we would have to end the conversation at this point.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes,
Summit Jute Millen is the administrative manager at the National Ambulance Service in the Ashanti Region. We'll be right back. This is News Desk.